The tape is off. Got to buff the old paint out. The fuel line is leaking. I hadn't replaced the fuel line between the tank and the pump, so I'm going to do that. I had put seal all on it to stop it from leaking. I bought the line, just hadn't changed it yet. But before I take the car off the jack stands, I'll replace the fuel line between the tank and the pump. So pretty much all, other than the trunk floor pan, the gold paint is pretty much all set. I did paint. A little harder to open the hood with one arm when the car's jacked up, but I did paint this edge. I think maybe when I paint the trunk pan, I'll just tape off the top here and down in here, maybe paint this edge just so it looks a little nicer. We'll see, may not, but I may. I painted all this, so when the headlight bucket goes back in, it looks nice. Painted that. I still gotta clean the corrosion out of that connector. Do that maybe tomorrow or the next day. We're in March, and I think we're supposed to get a bunch of typical March weather this week, so it sounds like a couple of days are going to be only in the high 20s, so I'll get that wiring cleaned up, the headlight bucket back in, get the fuel line replaced. I'll get the tires broke down off the wheels. You can see the wheels definitely need some attention. So I'll get them broke down, get them cleaned up and painted, and then get the new tires mounted. Got the pile of tires right here. So kind of moving along. This is the original fuel line right here. And see where it runs up in there. Runs the full length of the rocker panel. So that'll be an easy replace. It's all, I disconnected it from its clips. That's why it's loose, so I could get the paper up in there and mask. I'll paint the inner wheel wells. Get all anything that needs seam sealer sealed up. Go over this with a wire wheel really good. Paint that all dull black. I think it'll look good when I'm done. That's where I welded up the trunk on the undercarriage side. I'll paint all that up. So we're moving. You can see the door jamb to the body. Came out pretty good. This is still all the original paint up in there, and when I masked it so it wouldn't get overspray on any of that stuff. I don't like it when you see overspray on weather stripping or bumpers or any of that, so I just mask it all off. Same in the door jamb. You know, I don't like seeing overspray into the door jambs. So I just again masked it off. I was having a little bit of problems with fish eyes on the top of the fender. I don't know if it was an oil residue or something from working on the engine. I did use a wax and grease remover on it. I might give the top of the fender a light 6 or 1200 sanding and buff it when I buff the rest of the car. And if it doesn't, the little marks, fisheye marks don't come out. You can see one like, I don't know if it shows up in the camera, but you can see one right there, and one right there. So if I can't get it to look decent, I can mask it, and you leave the tape out so you don't get a sharp edge, and just sand and reshoot the top of the fender if I need to. That's no big deal. And if I do have to reshoot the top of the fender, I'll for sure paint this lip edge at the same time. I go to all the work of masking everything off. But pretty much everything else under the hood, I'm just leaving alone. It'll still be, that's the original paint on the engine. And I think I'm just going to leave it that way. The firewall's kind of, so that heater plenum's got surface rust on it. I'm not going to take it out. If I had to take it out to do something with the heater core, I'd probably repaint it, but it's fine. It gives the car that originality look. So it's really looking good. You gotta clean up the other emblem and this emblem. I still have to straighten the stainless trim for this side. I haven't even touched that yet. So it's not like I'm lacking things to do when it turns cold. Turns cold, I'll have plenty of things to do. I just wanted to get I was to the paint step, and I wanted to get the paint on the car while I had good weather to do it. We've been getting a really bad windstorm, and I don't know if that shows up or not, but a huge tree behind us came down, took the primary lines, all the power lines down. The lines are hanging down up over there. So I hope they get out here before things start arcing. I don't want to see the garage burn down. So yeah, we're out of one leg of our power was out, so I got the generator out and running. When we bought this house, I had electrical issues, so I had when I had them replace the panel, I had them put in a generator transfer switch. So I'm not back feeding into anything. That's a actual proper transfer switch down in the basement for the whole house and garage. But yeah, well, the garage, everything in here is being run on the generator right now. I got some stuff to clean those up. I'm gonna go with black on the wheels. I stopped while I was at my dad's up in Romeo and got a quart of black acrylic enamel. Yeah, I think I'm not going to put the extra load on the generator and work out here with all the lights on and stuff. So I'm just going to hang out and watch the utility companies and everything. But we've been getting horrific winds here. We went out with breakfast with some friends today, and on the way back we drove up to, I guess it would be like 23 Mile and Shaner area, and saw several buildings without roofs, garbage cans everywhere, multiple trees down, traffic signals down, power was out everywhere. When that tree came down next door, it shook the whole house. I came out to see what was going on, then when I went back in the house, I noticed half the house had power and half didn't. So I went downstairs and was looking at the breakers, and my neighbor called and told me what had happened, that tree came down. So it must have taken one of the primaries, and the other's still up providing power. So I get through the storm. Maybe tomorrow I'll take the wheels down and get the tires broke down so I can start cleaning them up to paint them. I might check a couple places just to sandblast them, see what they charge to sandblast them. And but we're going to go with black wheels, and I think as far as the seat upholstery goes, right now I'm just going to do the front seat. I do want to try and keep the car mostly original. The back seat's pretty good, and I can save the stuff. You know, it's $900 worth of stuff almost to do the seats, so I'll save the stuff for the back seat. You know, I just don't want to start going hog crazy. You know, twice as much labor to do both seats as one. So I'm just going to do the front for now. May change my mind and do the back, but for now we'll just do the front and we'll see how it looks. If it looks bad, I'll pop the back out and have the back done. But I really do want to try and just keep the car as original as I can. And you know, you'll notice the difference. Even after I buff this out, there will probably be a little noticeable difference in the finishes, but it'll look okay. It'll look fine. I'm not into car shows. Going to car shows, the judges can usually tell long stories about the people that win because they know them, they're personal friends. It's just car shows, too much politics and too much who knows who wins what. It's never about the cars. It's always about, you know, who knows who. I don't know if it shows up or not, but the telephone pole behind the garage that the power lines are going to for the house is broken and swinging back and forth in the wind too. So not only did that tree, which is just over there a little bit, come down and take the lines down, it broke our telephone pole too. Lovely.